because this is, hey, hello. Someone needs to whistle. Yeah, guys, we need to start the service on time. This is a long service because we have at least an hour of video plus our pieces. So we're asking you to all come in and just get seated. We'll have time to greet each other. You need to come forward. Come forward because they don't have these working properly. Come forward, please. Get up and come forward. All right. Can we roll to the first song, please? Okay, let's stand. This is a cappella, so I'm going to try to keep the tempo going. It's Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. It's a popular song. Please be quiet as you come in. Well, let's just go with it. Enter, here's the tempo, everyone. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Okay. This is a come as you are congregation, and you are welcome here just as you are. I want to extend a special welcome to any visitors. We would love to stay connected, so please sign up for our communications at the main entrance back there. Here at Namakawa UU, we foster a beloved community that celebrates diversity, strives for peace and justice, acts mindfully for the good of the planet, and inspires spiritual growth through a free and loving search for truth and meaning. We honor the ground we walk upon and acknowledge this land as the traditional and ancestral homeland of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. We recognize and honor the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and vow to reconcile the deep wounds that still shape our world today. So, stuff going on this week. Today, after the service and after coffee hour, we have them getting to know UU, and any newcomers are invited to join us for an opportunity to learn more about Namaka and Unitarian Universalism. And it's in the office behind us. And on Thursday, June 29th, we have the West African drumming class, which is 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. here. And it's a 6-week series, open to all levels. And beginners will learn fundamental patterns and build the skills to play music together as a group. And on Friday, on the 30th, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., here in the sanctuary, we have the Recovering Dharma as a peer-led recovering program grounded in Buddhist wisdom and practices. It offers a compassionate, non-theistic path for anyone seeking freedom from addiction of any kind. And coffee hour is, of course, after the service in the Parker Hall. And I'd like to thank everybody involved in today's service.
My name is Linda. I'm your primary presenter this morning. Not a big part today, but just a little bit about how the thing rolls today. It's a different kind of a service. We want it to be as immersive as possible, and most of it's on video. So and because some parts are long, and we're just gonna keep rolling the video. We'll stop for pieces like our own offering and our own, there's a couple pieces where we stop, and then we do skip over it there. So we've shortened the video from 1 hour and 40 minutes to about an hour. That said, we still have a few of our own pieces, so it'll be a little bit longer service, just so you know. If you do need to use the restrooms or you need to take a break, we ask that you do it quietly and go out there through the side entrance, and don't talk to people along the way, don't talk to the ushers, because it's not as if somebody's up here talking and they have a microphone on. You'll be disrupting everybody listening to the videos if you start talking to people along the way. I know you want to do that because it's a small congregation today, but we'll have time after the service to do that in Parker Hall, and we want to keep things moving along. Just so you know, take a break when you need it. We do it quietly, just go out and come back in, and the ushers will let you in and out of that door. So with that said, we're going to do the opening words. You're going to have a part. It's called Love is the Center and Foundation. It's by Sherry Woodbury. It's a call and response, so your part is in blue. Again, we reground ourselves here in our highest values.
Love is the center and foundation of faith.
Love is the power that holds us together as a community. As we enter into worship, then, let us open our hearts to the healing power of liberating love. Because love is not only something we receive, but something we practice in community, let fall away all that might distract us from the wholehearted practice of love. Let us be accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. As we continue to listen and learn, to act and grow, may each unfold in wholeness, both deeply loving and truly loved.
Amen.
And so it is. Let's say our congregational affirmation. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its call. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak the truth in love, and to help one another. This is where we begin, and we have all the music is being led by this young man, Gabe. And if you can, join in. That's what we've done in the past. Like if you pick up on the verses, just join in. All the words will be on the screen.
Good Sunday morning, my friends. My name is Youngsun Ryu, and I use she and her pronouns.
We're going to go ahead and send our children out because they don't have that embedded in their service. So we have people here to watch the kids. If you would like to go ahead and, I think we have someone to lead the children with us out. This is a good time to do that. Sorry. Thank you so much. We can go ahead and start.
I'm a senior Asian woman with long gray hair, wearing glasses, and a purple and yellow stole over a white robe. The worship team is here in Louisville, Kentucky, on the lands of the Shawnee, the Cherokee, Chickasaw peoples. Our nation's policies led to systemic genocide and forced relocation, which still negatively impact indigenous communities today. Wherever you are this morning, I hope you'll take a moment to acknowledge the land on which you live. And together, may we pledge to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. During Friday's worship service, we gathered waters from the four corners of the earth. The earth sings many songs, and one of the most powerful is her song of water. And so we call those waters to bless this morning's circle. Here are the waters that our ancestors carried to nourish their villages. Here are the waters of recreation that revive and restore body and mind. Here are the waters of our tears, shed in grief, in anger, and in joy. Here are the healing that springs from beloved communities. Come, let us choose love today and every day. Come, let us worship together.
I am David Oates. My pronouns are he, him. If you need a visual description, I am a white elder quadriplegic using a power wheelchair, and both my hair and beard are white. I have been a psychiatric survivor activist for 50 years. I co-chair the Accessibility Task Force in our church in
be us. They said we'll cup our hands around each heart and we will sing the earth's song, the song of water. A song so beautiful that vengeance will turn to weeping. The mourners will embrace, and grief replace every impulse towards harm. 10,000 is not enough, they say. So we've sent this dream, and flock doves into the sleep of the world. Wake up, put on your shoes, you who are reading this. I am bringing bandages and a bag of scented guavas from my trees. I think I remember the tune. Meet me at the corner. Let's go.
Thank you, Grayson. Last night, somewhere between the end of all we know and the faint beginning of something new, a dream emerged. 10,000 from all corners of the earth moved into a gap, one breath deep, into the space between all that has already happened and all that is yet to come. They carry songs, they are calling us to join them. These rich images come from Aurora Levins Morales, a Puerto Rican Jewish poet and activist. In those days, immediately following the October 7th attack in Israel, Morales struggled to find a way through the atrocity to something human. The poet gives us a summons to show up at the corner. But first, she invites us into a gap, one breath deep. Here, the ancestors cup their hands around our hearts. Here is blessing. Here is healing. Here is transformation. Here is worship. For many people living in the United States, these past several years have left us profoundly and deeply unsettled. We have been feeling the meanness of the world in genocide and in warfare, in the hoarding of resources that leaves millions without basic human needs, in policy changes that say some lives are more precious than others. The ground is shaking and it feels like everyone is on edge. The world that we thought we knew doesn't exist anymore, not in the same way. The Turkish journalist Ysaÿe writes about the decline of democracy, and she says that we are grieving in future tense. We're grieving in future tense, grieving what has already been slipping away, even before it's gone, grieving what has already been lost and what may yet be taken. Some of this grief may be new for people who have not had to name this before. The structures of white supremacy have remained well hidden in the background of life, quietly shaping what was accepted as normal, natural, or simply the way things are. But now, what has been hidden is becoming harder to ignore, and more people are waking up to the urgency of this moment, rousing them from what the poet calls the sleep of the world. Now, I know that many of you are already awake. You are doing everything that you can to proclaim every life precious, everyone deserving a chance to live fully and freely. Unitarian Universalists have long been a people of action. We know how to organize, we know how to show up. We are practiced in the art of doing. And if we're honest, that strength carries a shadow. Our religious tradition has been shaped in part by a culture that teaches us to measure our worth by what we accomplish, to equate goodness with effort, and to feel most at home when we're busy and striving. Pair this with a hurting world begging for our attention, and then things like rest can feel irresponsible. Asking for help can feel weak. And simply sitting in stillness can sometimes feel unbearable as doubt and worry rise to the surface of our lives. That's why this gap is so important. Whether it's 1 breath deep or 1 hour deep, this is a moment made sacred by our intentions and our promises. Here, in the place between where we've been and where we dare to dream, our lives are shaped and molded by our spiritual practices of worship, small group sharing, and deep study. Mark Nepo says that when we meet like this, we aren't just being self-reflective. We are strengthening the immune system of humanity. We are strengthening the immune system of humanity. Here is where we remember who we are and to whom we belong. Here is where we practice love as a response to the love that first summoned us.
Let's take this moment to sit in this gap, to acknowledge who we are, what we feel, where we are, and we think about what comes after later. We're going to sing a song that is going to be new for most of you, and it is very short, so you're going to learn very quickly. So just listen once. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to heartache. Listen to grief. Be still and breathe. This moment, I want you to focus more on your body, your soul, your mind. Then focus on singing out loud. Take a deep breath. Now let's acknowledge together. Let's be still. Let's breathe. And then acknowledge the heartbreak that we deal with on daily basis and the grief. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to heartache. Listen to grief. Be still and breathe. While heartache and grief might be true for you right now, or yesterday, or a week ago, gladness is also true. I'm so glad to be here with you guys today. Joy is also true. So let's also acknowledge those feelings and let them coexist with all the heaviness that we feel in the current moment of our lives. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to gladness. Listen to joy. Be still and breathe. Let's sing this one more time. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. our anger into our hurt. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to anger. Listen to hurt. Be still and breathe. I want to sing this verse one more time, but I want to challenge you to sing this as inward as you can do. Very intimate. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to anger. Listen to hurt. Be still and breathe. In our next little verse, we're going to acknowledge beauty and grace, that it is always present. At least it should be present, right? So my challenge for you right now is to smile. Even though I cannot see your smiles right now, I am challenging you to sing this smiling and expressing this beauty and this grace. Bring this to this environment now. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to beauty. Listen to grace. Be still and breathe. Let's sing this one more time. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to beauty. Listen to grace. Be still and be. And in this moment of breathing and stillness and reflection, if you have somebody sitting by you, or here in our studio, or at home, or in the satellite places, I want you to look to your side, look to the other side, find somebody, find a connection, and we're going to sing together that we're going to listen to you and listen to me. And I want you to sing this to somebody else, not to yourself, you know. That's our moments that in sitting with our feelings, sitting with our reality, we are also connecting with other people and sharing that and drawing strength from life. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to you. Listen to me. Be still and
There was an extraordinary Cambodian monk named Gasananda who survived the brutality of the Khmer Rouge regime. Later, he served in the refugee camps. And in one of those camps, he opened a Buddhist temple, despite threats from the authorities that anyone who attended would be killed. Still, on opening day, more than 20,000 people gathered. These were people who had lost nearly everything. Families shattered by war, communities terrorized by violence, people who had suffered beyond what most of us can even imagine. And there, in that dusty square, Gosananda led them in a timeless Buddhist teaching. Hatred never ceases by hatred. By love only is hatred healed. This is the ancient and eternal law. Thousands and thousands of people began chanting those words together, not because love is sentimental, not because love is easy, but because they understood that only love could build a future worth living in. After the 2024 General Assembly, I came home and told some of my interfaith colleagues that 80% of the Unitarian Universalist delegates had voted to declare love as the center of our faith. One of them, who's a good friend of mine, kind of sighed and said, love is very abstract. It means 100 different things and it means nothing at all. And, religion has been preaching and teaching love for the last 2,000 years, but look at the way we treat each other. I know what they mean. I've heard that before from Unitarian Universalists, too. Love has become a cliche, a greeting card, a slogan, a marketing campaign, a word stretched so thin that it can barely hold any weight at all. Even when Dr. King invoked love, they called it emotional bosh, weak, sentimental, passive. And some of us have learned to distrust the word entirely, because the word love has been used to excuse harm, to silence truth, to avoid accountability, and to demand submission. But without an ethic of love, human beings start treating each other as objects, as obstacles and problems to be dealt with. A people organized around fear will produce punishment. A people organized around greed will produce trillionaires. But a people disciplined by love can begin to repair the world. This is why the poet calls us into the gap, one breath deep, before sending us out into the world. In this space, we remember our religious inheritance, a treasure carried by our Universalist ancestors who claimed that God's love was so complete that no one would ever be outside of this love, no matter what. And our Unitarian ancestors who admired Jesus as a fully realized human being, showing us that our capacity for love is far greater than we can imagine. So, what do we mean by love when we dare to place it at the center of our faith? There are so many kinds of love in our lives. Romantic love can be beautiful. Love for friends and family can be deep and fulfilling. Love, as we speak speak of it in our congregations and in our practice communities, though, is a little bit different, because that love that we practice in those communities does not require fondness, affection, or any positive feelings at all. As the psychiatrist M. Scott Peck wrote, love is not a vague sentiment, but an intention and a discipline. He says, it is the willingness to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Sometimes that can look grand and heroic. Just as often, it looks like that couple who drives an elder member to church, even though it's out of the way and it's not so easy to coordinate, and sometimes it conflicts with other things they want to do. It looks like two people fighting as they're organizing an event and resisting the urge to turn away, willing to sit in discomfort long enough to speak honestly and to find their way toward new understanding. It looks like taking the time to get to know a stranger in need, learning their story, and welcoming them into the community as a full participant rather than an object of charity. It looks like making a personal promise to talk with one new person during coffee hour instead of huddling with their best friends. It looks like forgiving someone who hurt you because the burden on your own heart has become too great to carry. Love is so much more than what we feel. It is a discipline we choose freely and willingly for the sake of another's growth and well-being, including our own. My friends, I know that love is a word that carries many, many different meanings. Its power can feel fragile in the face of the forces gathered against us. At times, we may even doubt that love will prevail. Still, I am profoundly grateful to the Unitarian Universalists that we have not given up on love.
I am looking for shelter in a friend. We can build a beginning, but I do not know the end. I am scared of
Hello, this is Reverend Tania Marquez. I'm a Mexican woman in my late 40s with curly hair. I am wearing a red dress with a black sweater. I have anatomically shaped heart earrings, and there are some blue curtains in my background. Let us pray. Holy One, compassionate One, hold us tenderly. Hear the clamors of your children, the wailing of mothers, fathers, parents, siblings. So much has been taken. Too many nights of anguish and worry. Too many days of uncertainty. We bring our sorrows, our pain, our fears, and lay them before you. Creator, breathe into them the breath of life and transform them. Breathe into us and guide our hearts. We, all apprentices of love, reaching out to find each other, to hold each other. May we be granted clarity and understanding to carve the path before us, to go on determined and strengthened, our voices rising, creating new songs, songs that build new worlds, that reminds us of truths about who we are, about how we belong to one another.
I am full and I am running out. I'm a flooding river and I'm wading through the drought. I have firm conviction and my heart is full of doubt. We will carry each other all the way. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other all the way. There are people I have never met. There is something special when I haven't found it yet. There's abundance given freely, taken with no debt. We will carry each other all the way. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other all the way.
Oh, divine love, shape us, turn us into vessels of your essence, embodied love, loving in all directions, embodied love, tending, holding, expanding, rising. Amen. Asher.
My courage
in a community that embraces many spiritual perspectives and seeks to draw the circle wider, love is our common language. It allows us to speak of the mystery we cannot name, the goodness of life that exceeds us, and the sacred ties that bind us each to all. As Nora said, flowers cannot bloom without the sun, and we cannot bloom without love. When you fall, love is what catches you. Love is the everlasting light in the dark. So, are you ready to be disciples of love? All right. Now, I know that talking about discipleship may feel unfamiliar in a Unitarian Universalist setting. We have seen how easily discipleship can be distorted when it becomes a cult of personality rather than a liberating path. For some people, the word disciple carries painful associations: control, hierarchy, the surrender of one's own spiritual authority. But the discipline and the discipleship that I'm talking about and inviting us all into is all about studying love. It's about practicing love. And it's about moving in the world having been formed by love. Every path of formation can reorder a life and give it a new center of gravity, because every discipline asks something of us. To be a disciple of love is to allow ourselves to be reshaped and stretched often beyond what is comfortable, especially when we are called to love our enemy. Or, in UU words, to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of all, even of those who would use their power to deny that dignity to others. Discipleship is not easy, and yet following the way of love is what keeps us from being consumed by the very forces that we are trying to resist. Without a discipline of love, our activism will burn out. Our longing for justice can become untethered from mercy, and we risk becoming spiritually starved. I know what that feels like. When I returned to parish ministry after years in healthcare chaplaincy, I was so swept up in the busyness of the congregation and the urgency of meeting this moment that I nearly forgot the very practices that made such work possible. My physical health suffered. My mental health suffered. And this is why the ancestors, in their wisdom, call us into the gap, call us into moments of spiritual practice. Before we fill our bags with scented guava and bandages and rush out into the world, those ancestors call us to first gather in places like this, where grief is never denied, where joy is welcomed with abandon, a place where people return to the practices that shape them, where disciples study love carefully, practice it imperfectly, and when they fail, begin again. Begin again. The world is weary of righteous, performative righteousness. Instead, this hurting world needs people who can remain human in inhumane times. It needs people who can tell the truth without surrendering to cruelty, who can resist despair without pretending everything is going to be okay. So, my friends, the world is calling us to the corner. So gather up your things, take one another's hands, and let's go together as disciples of love.
We're going to do our own offering at this time, and Ellen's going to lead us in that.
Each week, you support the work of this congregation in all the ways we live our values in the world through your generosity. In addition to supporting this congregation, a portion of your donations support a local nonprofit organization helping us to make a difference beyond our walls. Today, in all of May and June, our recipient is Homeward Alliance. Homeward Alliance operates a continuum of programs and initiatives for families, adults, and seniors, such as basic needs, housing-focused case management, and employment services. They envision a community in which homelessness is rare, short-lived, and non-recurring. Please give generously to support this important work. Okay.
I am resilient. I trust
that story tell how we met a fearful and dangerous moment with open hearts reaching out to one another across every dividing line. May this be ever so. Go in peace, my friends. Go in love.
You know what? I've heard that joy is an act of resistance. Can I say that again? Joy is an act of resistance. So we're going to have a little bit of joy. Wherever you are, I want you to rise in body or spirit as we sing this joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me. And guess what? The world can't take it away. Can I get an amen, somebody? Amen. All right, let's do this, y'all. This joy that I have, the world didn't give to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, this joy that I have.
And give them a handshake, a hug, a good morning. Thank you, Al.
You're welcome. Next time we'll do a pinch up.
No, we did fine. It's all an experiment. It's all an experiment, always. All right, I'm going to hand you your keys.
That's not my key.
Oh, that's the alarm.
That's who?
Is it the alarm? Is this yours?
I don't know whose that ring is, though.
There's a ring?
Right up on there.
Oh, somebody left their ring?
Yeah,
It's a Unitarian ring.
it is.